Hello once more, my wonderful friends. It's time for another story. This is from Reddit user, I'm just here for the memes. 3. This is the third one like that. I just noticed the 3. I'm not so good at this. Anyway, I was a Legbeard. Oh boy. Before you start reading, I'm on mobile, and writing/spelling/grammar is not my strong suit. I think that's fine. Hello, Moonhorse, or whoever is reading it. It's usually always me. It is I. Hi. Moonhorse may know me better by my YouTube screen name. I'm just a fangirl. Oh my god, I'm so glad that you're here. I just kind of want to get this off my chest. I used to be a Legbeard, or at least I considered myself one. Let's start by being blunt. I have autism, and even though I hate saying this, but I think it's an exclamation on how I used to act. I hate saying it because I don't like using mental illness as an excuse, but I do feel like I can explain some of my actions and thoughts. Now let's start to when I believe I started to become a Legbeard. The year was 2013. I was 12 years old, and I was hip deep in the creepypasta and Five Nights at Freddy's fandom. I still like those things, but not as much as I used to. And middle school was going to be something I was going to do next year. But I was in the mindset that I was going to hate it, and everyone there. And the reason why is because of how much I was picked on for my entire life. Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry. Ever since preschool, I'd been picked on. It started out simple, but as time went on, it got worse and worse, and kept going, even when I switched schools and before 6th grade. Because of how much I was bullied, I started to hate everyone around me, including myself. I say this because this is kind of why I got the fedora over the summer before I started middle school. I was so desperate to be cool that I thought people would like me more if I wore it. So when middle school started, I thought, well, I'll wait a while before I started wearing it. I did meet a few people, and my future best friend, and who I consider my older sister, even though we're the same age, half a year apart. Her birthday's in December, and about halfway through the year, I started to watch My Little Pony, which would make me more of a Legbeard as time went on. It was also around this time that I started to wear my fedora. Now back in those days, I was going on and off multiple meds to help me in school, combine that with hormones and my mental state, and it made me even more of a Legbeard. I wasn't really a nice person either. I'd freak out and scream at people if they bothered me. I even throw my school supplies around, and to top it all off, I was very aggressive towards people as well. But surprisingly, I still had friends in those days. I'm not sure how. To this day, I would normally be by myself whenever I could as well, mostly during lunch hours, but I had to manage to make some friends in my English class, and I ended up following the girl who later became my best friend/sister whenever I could as well. She would put up with me and my English friends, and I would normally talk video games, Minecraft, Legend of Zelda, Five Nights at Freddy's, whatever else we could think of. But even though I had these friends, it still doesn't mean that I was doing good. Remember when I said I'd have freakouts and throw shit around? Yeah, I still did that even after I had friends. And I'm honestly surprised by that the most, because it's time to go into another thing that made me a Legbeard. Personal hygiene. I'm not going to go into too much detail because we are talking about when I was 13 and 14 years old, but I didn't know how to do anything. I have super thick hair, and at the time it was really long, like down to my hips long. I was like 5 or 4 something, I forget. I rarely ever brushed it because it hurt, and also I didn't know how to wash it properly, and the only thing I could do was put it in a ponytail. Another thing I didn't know how to do for a long time was wash my face. I legitimately did not know how to do that. I also didn't wear deodorant often because I either didn't have it or I just forgot it. Other than that, I just didn't really know how to take care of myself. Imagine 13, 14, being like this throughout all of middle school. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I did get out of being a Legbeard very slowly, and it all started before I even started to be a Legbeard, actually. I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. In 6th grade, I got a pet. My mom and my stepdad got it off Craigslist for free. They got me a guinea pig because my stepdad wanted to make bacon out of him. What? His name is Butters. I don't talk about him often because of how tragic his death was for me. They only lived to be about 4 to 5 years old, and he died in my freshman year of high school, and he was full grown when I got him. The reason why I was able to even keep Butters as a pet was because my mom could see how close that we got in such a short amount of time. Yes, Butters did bite me a few times, but I wasn't mad or scared. I knew at the time that he was just scared and in a new environment. He never bit me again. He would only try to lick me and squealed whenever I went to say hi. The reason I'm talking about Butters is because he and a second pig we got later, named Blacktop, who died before Butters, strangely enough, were the reason why I got up in the morning. Now, I hated myself a ton, and I mean a ton, but my pets loved me. Saying that about Butters would be an understatement, actually, but you get it. I love my pets. I wanted them to have food, fresh water. I should have cleaned their cages more, but I rarely ever got out of bed. If it wasn't for Butters during that Legbeard period in my life, I'm not sure how I would be today, as well as the teachers I had. Remember when I said I was picked on a lot? One of the people that did that was my 6th grade teacher, who had a reputation of making students cry and even switch classes or drop out of school. She was a total bitch, and I don't feel bad about saying that. She was a bitch, the bitch, looking back on it, and she singled me out of all of her other students. And what I mean by that is she would constantly send me and other students to detention, yell at us and the whole class over tiny things. What was the worst thing she did, in my opinion? Well, she gave out toys to the good students, and by good, I mean her favorites. I don't actually remember what system she had to give these things out in class, but she had these toys on full display for everyone to see. I remember that one of them was a My Little Pony toy, like the really old, not Friendship is Magic, so basically an older generation that I grew up with. This was one of my favorite, Sky Wishes, if anyone's dying to know. And I was on my best behavior, and she said, "Oh, don't worry, you're doing really well, and you'll get it," when I told her that that's my favorite one. But after that, it disappeared, much to my disappointment. I can only assume you all know why. She was the reason why I started to hate teachers, so when I went into middle school, I was ready to be aggressive and mean to the teachers. But the thing is that I only had the best teachers in the school, and they were all cool, even the librarians. One gave me stickers one time. And my homeroom teacher, my first year of middle school, was absolutely the best. She was also the health teacher. She was just this happy, silly, older woman who made sure that we had fun in school. I couldn't be mean to her, and so I wasn't. Even though it was her last year there, my next homeroom teacher was also really nice. She actually had a hand and leg deformities and needed some prosthetics, but I liked her. She was really cool, and she had the cutest little baby girl that she brought in a few times, and I loved playing with in my spare time. These and my other teachers really helped me realize in middle school that not all teachers are bad, and most are actually kind of nice. It was thanks to the friends, Butters, and my teachers that I was slowly becoming nicer, and even started to have less freakouts as well. It'd still be a long time before I get good personal hygiene, but I did start wearing the fedora less and less, and as I got into high school, I completely stopped once my stepmom suggested I start wearing other hats, so I did. I remember what happened to the fedora because I stopped wearing it close to the end of freshman year. What I did was, I threw it away. I didn't want to bother cleaning it. Even though I did stop being a neckbeard and started being a better person, I got into a really toxic relationship, but that's an entirely different story I may or may not tell one day. But that's it. Hopefully this makes sense because I kind of just rambled in some places, but I really had to get this off my chest. Well, I'm really happy that you wanted to share this story with us. It really means a lot. So, if I may, as I usually do in some of these, go on a little bit of a tangent, I always kind of feel that a lot of legbeard and neckbeard behavior, especially in younger people, especially which what you were describing, has a lot to do with emotional issues and things like that. From the way you were describing things, that's depression. Take it from a guy who has it. I still have it. It's not going to go away. It's definitely better, but, there's always moments. But I remember being in the depths of my depression, especially in my 20s, when I was in terrible relationships and had just the most toxic friends and things like that. You'd spend just days not wanting to get out of bed, sleep later and later because what was the point? Work was sporadic because, again, what was the point? Why would I want to keep going to the job that paid me if I hated getting paid and being alive, you know? So that sounds heavily like depression. And things that can counter depression vary from person to person. For you, it was something that gave you positivity. A meaning to do things, but also positivity. You know, a reason to get up and do something. A reason to kind of do things. The motivation can help a lot. I can safely say that my depression has gone into major fucking, like, I want to say relapse, but I don't think that's the right word. It's basically, like, really small. It's very rare that I have to deal with, you know, depressive moments or, like, things. I can't remember when I was depressed for an entire day that wasn't, like, the result of something bad happening. Because a lot of times with my depression, it's just there, and you just like, oh, okay, well, I guess everything's terrible today. I haven't had one of those days in a very long time, you know, knock on wood. But a lot of that is because of what I do now. A lot of that is this channel. I needed an outlet. Doing comedy, talking to people, reading things, being funny, just being around you guys, that honestly has helped a lot. And that's not to say that'll help everybody, you know. There are cases where medication is necessary, where therapy is necessary, all these other things. I'm not a doctor, you know. I'm just giving my opinion on what happened with me and what I think can help if it does. It doesn't mean it's perfect, but, you know, fuck it. At least it's something better than nothing, right? So, yeah, having an outlet really helped for me. Doing this stuff really helped, and I mean, if I can go off on a sub-tangent about this kind of stuff, if you feel like, you know, doing something like this, like, not necessarily reading stuff from Reddit and doing all this other stuff, but starting a podcast or making videos or doing any of these things can help, do it. There's going to be a whole bunch of people who tell you, like, oh, you can't do this because you don't have this, or you can't do that because you don't have this. You know, it's like, oh, you don't have the most fancy equipment, you don't have the best computer. Like, I just want to remind you that this channel was literally started while I was drunk, reading Sonichu into a Logitech camera microphone combo that I bought in 2000. So yeah, piece of shit microphone, everything was terrible, and it got better as I worked forward. Things got better. It wasn't just my mental state, it was the progress of at least starting on the thing you like. It's better to make a few steps and only progress an inch than to never move from the spot that you're sitting in. I, more than once, have known people in different, you know, quote-unquote YouTube chat servers, and it was just people who, you know, they're always talking about making that one big channel, that one big video. Oh, I'm gonna be the next PewDiePie if I just do this, you know, I got the whole thing, and they never did it. They're still in those chat servers. They're still talking to each other to this day. You know, it's been like fucking 7-8 years since I've seen these people, and that's still all they do. They're not streaming, they're not recording, they're not moving forward. And that's the big difference with a lot of this. It goes all the way back to the whole depression thing. You gotta make a first few steps. I know it's hard. Making those first few steps is really hard. Believe me, and nobody's saying you gotta make 1 million of them in a day. Just do what you can when you can. If one step is all you can manage today, one step is still better than the 0 you did yesterday. It's always progress. It's like that old saying, journey of 1,000,000 miles begins with a single step. It may not be perfect, but at least it's happening. And that's the big thing to remember. And you know, it's that line from that Aerosmith song, life's a journey, not a destination. Don't always worry about being the big guy on top. Enjoy what you got while you got it. Do what you can while you can. I gotta say, I didn't expect to be where I am, but it's been one hell of a fucking journey. And that's the same way I feel about my depression, too. It was really bad, and you guys basically helped save me from all that shit. Made it a million times better. So yeah, even if it's only one step, make that one step. Do at least a little something. No one is saying you have to be perfect tomorrow or today. Just, give it a shot. It's better than the alternative, right? Anyway, I'd like to tell you all that I love you. But I don't. I'm kidding. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. That's a mean joke, and I really felt bad immediately after I said it. I do. I love you guys so very much. I just spent the past, fucking 10 minutes talking about how much I love you guys, so obviously I do. Thank you all for being here. If you would, please like, comment, and subscribe. It honestly baffles me how many more people keep subscribing to this channel. I mean, you guys do realize I'm a dumbass, right? I love you so very much. And if you could, donate to Patreon or buy something from the merch store. There's a lot of stuff in the merch store. I'm going to try and add more stuff to it soon. I have to talk to some people, but maybe I can make a couple things work. Who knows? We shall see. But yes, I don't do YouTube monetization, which is why you didn't see ads on this video. And if you did, it means somebody else has claimed it and is making ads on it, and fuck them. So I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I don't do that, so the only way to keep the lights on in here is with Patreon and merch store donations. And I totally get it if you can't do that kind of stuff. Fine by me. Just, if you can, I'd appreciate it. If you can't, totally cool too. I love you either way. And if you have your own story that you want to send to me, you can send it to r/Moonhorse Stories, and I'll see it, because it's my subreddit. I own it. I'm serious. Anyway, I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye! Can't find the stop button. Okay, wait, then I found it. Okay, bye!